Most, if not all people, remember 9/11. Everyone who knows me remembers it as the day I was born. My birthday is a huge part of who I am, and it is super important to me. Around 8:45 a.m. on Tuesday, September 11, 2001, a group of terrorists known as Al-Qaeda had taken over 4 airplanes and had already crashed the first plane into the first of the 2 Twin Towers. Many people know that 2 of the planes hit the Twin Towers, but the 3rd plane hit the Pentagon outside of Washington, D.C., and as for the 4th plane, it crashed into an open field near Pennsylvania. There were over 3,000 people killed in the terrorist attacks of 9/11. Media crews had begun to think that the first plane was just a freak accident, but after 18 minutes later, when the 2nd plane had hit the 2nd tower, at approximately 10:30 a.m., the towers had completely collapsed and only about 6 people survived. Another 10,000 others were being treated for severe injuries. One man that was behind all of these attacks was named Osama bin Laden, who at the time was the most wanted and most dangerous man in the world. After the attack, he had escaped into Pakistan and continued to hide there from 2002 through 2010. He had moved between 4 houses fathering his 4 children with his wife. On May 2, 2011, around 8:20 a.m., President Barack Obama had given the order to enter and raid the complex in which bin Laden was living. The overall raid took around 40 minutes, and in the process, the 3 men and 1 woman was killed. One of the men that was killed was bin Laden's son. Osama bin Laden was killed by a gunshot just above his left eye, and his body was identified by facial recognition. He was buried the same day according to Islamic tradition that required him to be buried within 24 hours of his death. He was then buried into an undisclosed location in the Arabian Sea. Being as it is my birthday, it is important to me, but because it is such an important day in our country's history, it is even more special to me. Many people make jokes about me being born on the same day as one of the worst terrorist attacks in the world. Yes, it is odd, but at the same time, it is very interesting. I know of a couple of other people that were born on the same day, but not the same year, and I feel that it's really rare that something like this had happened, and I'm glad I can say it makes my life a little bit more interesting. I have spoken on the news when I was about 6 or 7 and what I felt about it, but being a 7-year-old, I really had not known what a tragedy this really was. I just thought I was really special, and that was all. 9/11 was one of the worst things that could ever happen to our country, and it is an interesting part of me, and I'm really proud that I can say I've learned a lot about it.